Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Prepared Mind Initiative. My name is Dede Umojabano, and I'm going to be your host for today. Before we begin, I would want you to like, share, subscribe, and to comment on today's session. Also, I would want to know how prepared you are on a scale of 1 to 10. If this is your first time, the Prepared Mind Initiative is an organization ready to help individuals, especially young individuals, to help develop, build, and improve upon their skills. As we delve into today's topic, things students are doing right but not getting results, I would want to introduce our speaker by reading his biography. Ranked amongst the top three LinkedIn career coaches and creators in Ghana 2025 by Favicon and recognized as the number one creator in the job search coaching niche on LinkedIn Ghana 2026. Nicholas has supported over 300 students across Africa in securing internships, building professional visibility, and positioning themselves for early career success. A statistics and economics graduate at the University of Ghana, Nicholas continues to create impact through career coaching, mentorship, employability programs, and community building, helping students gain clarity, become more visible, and prepare themselves for meaningful opportunities. Through Intern Africa and his various initiatives, he has become a trusted voice for students seeking guidance in navigating the transition from education to the professional world. Please help me welcome Mr. Nicholas Jima, the founder of Intern Africa. Welcome, Mr. Nicholas.
Welcome, moderator. I believe you can all hear me loud and clear.
Yes, please.
All right, so it's very great to be here, and it's another evening of impact to inspire you, to challenge you, and to help you unearth the great potentials that is within you. And to me, the topic is one that is very, very timely, especially in a time where you, as a student or a young professional, you are questioning your life, asking yourself, what is it that you should be doing? Okay. And I believe if you really pay attention, I want you to be paying attention to everything I'm going to say so that you can really imbibe in the value that this session has to offer. So the moderator did a good job by introducing me, so I don't have to go through my introduction again. So the team quickly share my slides so that we zoom right into action. Before we start, I would like to know how prepared you are. I want you to comment your expectation and what you intend to imbibe from this particular session. Okay. So, MC, let me know if you start receiving some reactions or some response in the comment section so that we can just zoom.
Okay.
All right, so we zoom right into action. And today's topic is very, very interesting. Things students are doing right, but not getting results. You see, it's very, very tiring and draining if you know you are doing the right thing and still not getting the result that you want to. And in later in my presentation, I will let you know why and some of the reasons why you might not be getting the result that you want. Okay, to you, you think you are doing a good job, you are doing everything right, but the system that are evaluating you are silent and not kind of giving you insight on what you are doing right and what you are doing wrong. Okay, so you realize that there are actually two accounts. We have the capacity account, we have outcome account. The fact that you have a capacity account doesn't mean that your outcome account is very valid and assured. There is no automatic exchange made between them. Okay, so my name is Juma Nicholas again, and today one of the key things I want you to know is why effort alone isn't producing the outcome that you expect. Okay, and I'm going to do this by introducing you to a framework that I developed to next slide, please, to help students like you be competitively, be globally competitive, and to really spark in you the novelty and ambitions that you have in you. So it's a framework that I developed, and I use it in my coaching sessions a lot. I hope some of my mentees are here, Wendy Delvin and the rest. They are all here to also attest to this. So let's go on to the next slide so that I really run you to this framework that I'm coming to share. So you see, the core problem that we have as a generation or as people is that the skill that you have is not enough. Okay, you know, a lot of speakers will tell you develop skill, but you are doing the right thing by developing the skill. Still, you are not getting the results you want. They told you to learn how to create use Excel, PowerPoint, and all of those things. You've learned all these things, but still, you are not getting the internship you want. Or nobody's DMing you on LinkedIn. It should tell you that there is something that you are leaving out of the equation. Okay, and I'll introduce you to some layers that I help with students in my coaching sessions and other speaking engagement that I do. Okay, so your skill is not enough. We have, of course, something we have something we call signal, and it's a signal that actually determine your access. Okay, yeah, we need them. Like I see you. You see, the signal is what determine whether you are globally visible or visible to the right eye. Is somebody learning something? And you and I will attest to the fact that every year we get countless number of students graduating from all universities across Africa. And the thing is that the person has a first class, you also have a first class, and you are also doing everything right. You are also doing everything right. But the gate welcomes only few people. How do you distinguish yourself to be part of the people that will be able to enter the gate? With gates, I mean gate of opportunity. Okay, so the sad thing is that most of these people who are graduating out of these schools will not be considered for any valid role or any kind of substantial role that they want. You know, when we are in school, we try to pin down the companies we want to work at and all of that. But we complete school and realize that no, it's not as we think it's this. And the fact that you are not being allowed into this gate doesn't mean that you are unqualified. No, you have everything on paper right. And that is why the theme of this particular webinar sits very well with me. It's not like you are not doing the right thing. It's not like you are you are lazy. It's not like you are just a timid student. Most of you have LinkedIn accounts. You are doing everything right by trying to stay aloof and visible to these recruiters and all these people. But still, you are not getting what you want. But the sad thing is that it's because you are unreadable. And what does unreadable means? We are going to learn why you are unreadable and how to correct this in this particular webinar. And that is why I want you to pick up your book and pen and start documenting. Because this is something that you not enough people or speakers would tell you this. Okay, on paper you have a good grade, you have a good GPA, you have an optimized LinkedIn account, you are doing everything right. But why are you still unreadable? Is somebody listening to me? All right, so let's go on to the next slide. Now I introduce you to the signal stack framework. Okay, and this thing is very very important to me. So it's so sad that it's YouTube streaming, so I can't have a live conversation with you. I would have let somebody tell me what they see over here. So imagine you are at the shore of a mighty ocean. Okay, think of the beach that you went to one evening or one night, and far away on the horizon, you saw a glowing raft, very small but very visible from wherever you were standing. Okay, you saw this shining light. It was very very small, right? But underneath the water is a glowing ball of knowledge, something beaming, radiating, very strong, powerful. But why? Because it is trapped in the ocean. So it's the little light on the ocean that you see. You are not privy to the glowing light beneath the sea. Okay, and just opposing this with our current setting, the visible thing you see is what the global evaluator will see. Because I won't hire somebody I don't know and somebody that I can't attest to their professional credibility. So most of you say you are doing everything right, right? But if you look at it, everything you are developing is still invisible and unreadable. So how do you want me to vouch for you if I can't see what you are up to? I hope you are listening. How do you want me to vouch for you to you want the person to hire you, you want to be accessible to those opportunities. Meanwhile, all the things that you are developing is trapped beneath the ocean. So you are doing everything right. You are making all the posts, you are optimizing your profile, you are changing all your CV lines and everything, but it's still not visible. Why? Because what you are developing is a capacity, and that is what I differentiate between what intelligence and visibility is. You see, visibility is called a construct, and intelligence is capacity. Okay, so intelligence or what we call capacity is something inherent, something you develop yourself, but a construct is influenced by things outside your domain. Okay, construct are things that are outside your domain. In capacity is something you have it within you already. Okay, but a construct you have to take a conscious effort to re-engineer what people think about you, how people see you, how people perceive you. I hope somebody is learning something. How people relate with you and how people kind of see you in the professional light. That is the difference between a construct and capacity. And the thing is that intelligence is capacity, meaning that what you know might not be visible to the person outside your domain. How do you then re-engineer this? And that is when visibility comes in. You might be doing everything right, but you're not visible to the right eye. So your efforts wouldn't be yielding the outcome you want. I want you to think about this. Next slide, please. So, anytime you are not doing anything right, just think about this in this way. So, I will detail it over here. So, a capacity is what you know, okay? Your actual ability to solve problems. That is what we call a capacity. Okay, now what is a construct? A construct is how you present that ability. You are brilliant already, you are smart, you have a first class, second class apart, everything. But the construct is what will let the person that you want to, the person that you are preparing for, see you. Because without that, everything you are going to do will be in vain. Sadly. So the intelligence or the capacity you have as a person is your actual inherent ability to solve a problem. But the construct is how you present that ability. And whether a global evaluator or a reviewer, a recruiter will see or can read those signals. I hope somebody's learning. Good. Now, the core asymmetry of this particular problem is that a global evaluator doesn't have time to discover you. That is how unfair the world is. They don't have they don't have time to say, okay, there is this student at UCC who we think is good. Let's go. No, no, no. You are not a football scout, or you are not. They are not football scouts. No, that's not how it works. You yourself must be discoverable. You have to take that conscious effort to make yourself discoverable. So you as a student, as a young professional, as somebody who wants to really make impact, somebody who wants to stand out amidst the large pool of people, your job is to build a profile that is legible without requiring interpretation. If you give me your resume, I have to be able to within 15 seconds tell what you are building and what you are doing and where you are going and the kind of roles that you want to find yourself in. If I can't do that, then it means you are still unreadable. You see, I always use this example because it's very important. Okay, a 4.0 GPA from a university in Africa or Ghanaian University, University of Lagos, and a 4.0 from Georgia Tech in the US, they carry different weights. You and I know that is how unfair the world is, but you should be willing to play that game. They carry different weights. So if you want to really make it and compete with your peers outside, you have to be discoverable. How do you become discoverable? By building a profile that is very legible without requiring any interpretation. Because when I'm reviewing your CV, I don't have to pick a phone and call you. What were you trying to say on this line? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You need to take that particular conscious effort. You think you are doing everything right, but take that conscious effort to be readable and discoverable. Next slide, please. So here we will zoom on into the next section, which talks about the 5 layer signal stack frameworks. And I would quickly run through because of time, but I want you to pick up the core values, right? So the first framework is what I call the foundational competence, and it mostly talk about your technical mastery and your academic grounding. Okay, and the second one talks about applied proof. Okay, now you have the technical mastery, you know how to program all these things, you have a good GPA, you have everything. How do you apply this proof in real world setting? We'll talk about that in brief. Now, the third one is institutional proximity, which is your access to globally recognized ecosystems. And you will know how you can engineer yourself to success just by leveraging on institutions that you are affiliated to. Okay. And to me, this is one of the things that students can take advantage of easily, especially for regardless of wherever you are. Now, the fourth one is what we call the global relevance. Okay. That is how you frame your work, because I believe that everything that you do, we have two registers for it. That's the local register and the global one. So you will learn how to incorporate all these things in your dealings and everything that you do. Now, the fifth one is the narrative coherence. Okay, that is how you can tell one legible story across all touch points. Okay, now this is a layered system, to clarify. It's a layered system. Okay, and you cannot skip any of the layers. You should be willing to. It's like a staircase. You can't just jump from the first floor to the last floor just like that. Okay, you can't just skip from the first floor to the last floor. So work with me, and I would explain all of it to you. So if you are imbibing value, I want you to type signal stack in the comment section. Type signal stack in the comment section so that I know that somebody is learning something. Okay, type signal stack, so that we know that you are learning something. All right, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's zoom in into expatiating all these points and how you can also apply this particular layered system in all you do as a student and as a professional. Okay, so the first one, that is the foundational competence. Okay, and this one starts from where you are right now, you as a student, and it's your biggest advantage, because if you cannot do this particular thing right now, then it means that your foundation is weak. So obviously, climbing up the parapets, the staircase wouldn't be easy for you, because that is like the basic of them all. Okay, now what does this talk about? Let's talk about foundational competence. That is the evidence of technical mastery. And how do we know that you've mastered that thing that you are doing? It's by using your GPA. Okay, the certification, your standardized scores, your domain literacy. These things are what build your grounding. So if anybody tells you your GPA is not enough, tell the person is a liar. Because the GPA is like your ticket. So if the ticket is not strong enough, you can't even board the bus to wherever you are going. Is somebody here with me? So these things are things that are within your domain. A lot of public people will be telling you, oh, I mean, focus on what you are passionate about. No, 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 no. is very, very important. You need to develop that technical mastery. And to you, the student, the basic of them all is to get a good academic grounding. Domain literacy. Don't just chew the books. Understand. You're an economic student. You should be able to tell us why the Bank of Ghana is taking this decision. You're a psychology student. You should be able to tell us the background of every other thing that impact the human life and society. Why people act the way they do. I'm not saying you should be able to read people's mind or all of that. Okay, this is what we call the technical mastery, and it's the basic one that you, the student, you can actually master. Because if you're not able to master this particular ground, it's a layer, and if your foundation is weak, you can't climb up high. Is somebody here with me? So these things form the basics of all the things that you are doing. Okay, it forms the basis of everything we are coming to do. So I want you to know that for the layer one, it talks about your foundational competence. It talks about you being able to master your domain as an academician. You're able to master whatever you are doing right now within your space. You are a student, so obviously it's your books. Okay. Now, how do we evaluate this thing to show that you've been able to really, really articulate yourself and master these things, right? That the first one that everybody else will go out to. If I'm a recruiter and I'm coming to recruit you, the first thing I'll ask for is your transcript, obviously. So that should tell you how important your studies are for you to even stand out. So you can't deal away with your studies. Good. Now, the next one is what? Your published work. Okay, you are in tech, but you don't have a GitHub account. How does that play? Where do you show your work? You are saying that you can code, but you've not built any substantial thing that we can write home about. I mean, somebody's here with me. Okay, and things like standardized tests that you take and all of that. And the funny thing is, or the sad, it's not funny, it's sad actually, is that these layers, it's not a human that's reviewed them. This particular layer is not a human that reviewed them. It's filtered algorithmically. It's the first layer. Okay, imagine you are a recruiter. You deal with a lot of you. I will show you later in this slide a role that you probably needed just 4 people and 600 people applied. You don't want me to be reviewing it one by one. And if I'm even reviewing one by one, you don't want me to spend 1 minute on your CV. It's an algorithm that reviews it. And I know most of you are aware of ATS, applicant tracking system. It is filtered easily. Okay, if I publish a role, and let's say I'm even basic of all, I'm using what do you call it? Google Docs to collect the data, right? So I use Google Form, I transfer it to Google Docs, and there's a portion where on the let's say I want people with GPA of 3.5 and above, right? And I spool my data, I get it in Excel form. Now I go to this GPA column, I will just filter anything below 3.5, they are out. So this layer is not even a human that is even reading. Like it's not we don't take time over here. So if you're not getting this layer right, you should be asking yourself again, are you really, really getting the thing that you think you are doing everything right? Are you indeed really doing everything right? So it filtered algorithmically before a human even approach. So a strong GPA is very necessary, but it's not enough. Remember, I'm not saying it's not needed. It's necessary, but it's not sufficient. Because you have a first class, you are not the only person with the first class. Other people also have a first class. So for you to even be able to, remember I used the bus analogy, for you to be able to enter through the gate of opportunity, the ticket that you are holding is that academic grounding. Because everybody has the same tickets. Assuming you are going into a football stadium or a concert or anything, we have VIP, VVIP, regular stands and all of that. If you want to be at the VIP seat or gain the opportunity for you to be interviewed for the VIP seats, it means your academic domain, that is a strong GPA, is necessary for you. Else, we send you to the back benches or the regular stands. Okay, but the sad thing is that you are not the only person with a strong GPA. Every candidate in that pool of application is also having a strong GPA. So now you know why I'm saying that it's necessary and not sufficient. So aside getting the GPA, you need to build things aside that differentiates you from the other people with the first class or the second class upper. Assuming you and your friends, you both have a first class, you are all good. It means that you all learned. Now, I want just one person. How do I choose? Whom do I choose? It's about things that they were all building outside the academic domain that I would go and use as my defining factor. Now let's look at where you are underinvesting as a student or as a youth or as somebody who thinks that he or she is doing everything right, yet still not getting the intended results. Good. Now, the first one and the start of them all is that we treat the strong GPA as the primary competitive asset. We think that we have a first class, we have a good grade, so automatically we become employable. No, it's not that. It's not that easy. Okay, that's when you see people with first class and all of that still not being able to get employment. You shouldn't treat that as the primary competitive asset. It's your ticket to enter the race. Do you get it? It's like a ticket to enter the race. The fact that you bought the tickets or you've registered doesn't mean that you've won the race. Is somebody learning something? The fact that you have the tickets doesn't mean that you've won the race. And the second one is that we lack external validation beyond institutional grade. There are some of you that if I take your transcript from you, you are gone. There is nothing else you can do. Do you get it? If we are to take away things outside academic domain, you are done. Like that is your end. Which shouldn't be so. And if you are there, it means that you would think you are learning and learning, you are making everything right. You will still not get the opportunity you want, sadly. And the third one is that we miss globally recognized certifications. You see, we are in a world where we can get all these things easily, right? A lot of courses, I can't overemphasize this enough because I know you've heard it somewhere before. A lot of courses there that you can take, and I mean, at least showcase your competence and your other things outside the scope of your academics. You are still not doing it. And the last one is that we don't showcase our work in internationally legible formats. But all hope is not lost. There is still some room for correction. If you are somebody in this particular state, how do you correct this? You know they are self-explanatory. What you are not doing. So it's easy as that. Start doing what you are not doing. It's just that way. Start doing what you are not doing. You see, with my converse with students and young professionals, most people know what they are supposed to do to orient themselves for success, but they are not doing it. With all these certifications I'm talking about, start pursuing globally recognized certifications. You know of AWS, most of the courses are free. You know of CFA, you know Google Analytics and all of those things. Try to achieve a certification out of your academic space to complement that. So that if we take the transcript, we know that okay, if when you're not using the transcript, we know that you have a GitHub portfolio somewhere, you have a website somewhere, you have a certificate somewhere. I believe this level one is well expatiated because to most of you that is where you are right now. And if where you are supposed to be, you are not there, then start doing what you are not doing. Next slide, please. I hope people are learning and you are imbibing value. Good. Now, the second layer is what we call applied proof. What is applied proof? The applied proof is you demonstrating the evidence that you've actually accomplished the things you're supposed to accomplish in layer one. Don't get confused. Layer one talked about technical mastery and all the GPA and all of those stuff. Now, if you say you've accomplished that, it doesn't have to just sit on your transcripts. You need to apply that domain excellence, that domain literacy into a real world context. So the layer two, which is the applied proof, it talks about you demonstrating evidence that you have used the knowledge in layer one to produce real outcome in real context. Moving on, how do evaluators detect this particular thing? Okay, through internships, portfolios, I spoke about this earlier, startup history, research output, freelance work, competitions, hackathons, and all of these things. That is when we know that this student is not just a normal student. Or aside pursuing the academic excellence, they are doing things that would make them globally competitive. Internships are the easiest way to accomplish this layer. Hackathons, competitions are the easiest way to cross this layer. Your portfolio is the easiest way to catapult over this layer. So if you are not doing this thing, once again, start doing what you are not doing. And the important thing of this layer is that it separates people who know things from people who do things. Is somebody listening? The layer two separates people who know things from people who do things. You can know something and still not do it. You can know all the laws of economics. You can know everything. But can you really apply it in a real world context? Knowing it is not enough. The world glorifies people who do things over people who know things. Because we welcome outcome. Human brain and our attention welcomes outcome. So if you are not producing an outcome, then you are causing upon yourself a great mayhem. Most students will be like, I'm doing everything right. Meanwhile, it's just level one or layer one that you are doing. No. The fact that you've mastered layer one doesn't mean that it's a 5-story building. You're on ground floor and you still want to see the world. No, it doesn't work that way. Is somebody following? People who do things waste all the time rather than people, much more than people who know things. And the thing is that this layer asks you a real world question. Has anybody trusted this person with a real world problem? What happened when they did that? That is why internship is very important and why companies always want to hire people who have internships history. Because if you are just coming as a blank slate, no, it's a red flag. I would choose the person who has a sort of experience over you. That's why all these companies are asking for people who have 2 to 3 years of experience. How do you buffer? Through your internship. Is somebody listening? Through your internship, that's what you buffer for all these things. And what you do your internship. If I pick your resume and I see some internship records on it, I know that okay, at least this is not his or her first time being employed in a corporate setting. She has or he has learned something before, and thus the time that I would take to teach him or her would be minimum compared to somebody who is coming as a fresh graduate, no sort of experience. Now, where you are under investing is as a student, as a young professional, is that we value the theoretical mastery over application. We seek to do chill and poor all the time. All we think about is to just cross over an E or an F or a D and just go ahead. It's not helping. It won't help you too. Seek to understand and apply. You see, that is what universities are for. You are not just there to accumulate theory. You are there to be a person that people can trust with real world problem. Now, most of you also have thin portfolio. Despite knowledge, you are good. You have the first class and all of that, but you're not able to um, 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 apply it when we give you the chance. Now, those of you even do internships, you don't even document. You just go there, press your phone the whole day, close. The next day you go, they send you and all of that. You are not really documenting anything you are doing. Trust me, you're not doing yourself any good. Meanwhile, this same person will be saying that I'm doing everything right. No, you are leaving something out. Most of you also don't have any verifiable proof of accessibility to knowledge or to external evaluators. I call something a 30 seconds root test. And I something I want all of you to do. Pick your portfolio, pick your resume, give it to somebody who is outside your context or somebody that you are not so familiar with, or even a friend can help. Within 30 seconds, if you're not able to tell where you are going based on your resume, you have a long way to go. And there is a lot you need to be doing. Most students, next slide please, most students would say, I'm doing everything right and still not getting what I want. It's either they are treating the entry path as the top. You know what I told you about the layer one. They are treating the layer one as the final piece. Or they are somewhere closer to the layer two, but they are not really getting what they want. So there is a lot that you need to be doing as a student, as a young professional who wants to engineer his way to success. And the layer three talks about institutional proximity. Remember, I told you this is the most insightful layers of it. But to you and I, in a place like Africa, we are often disadvantaged. Why? Because we are competing with people who have a whole alumni validations and all of that. So this particular layer, what it seeks to do is that is the degree to which your biography, listen, is the degree to which your biography intersects with institutions and network that global evaluated already trust and recognize. And I call it the borrowed credibility. Somebody type in the comment section, borrowed credibility. And I'm coming to tell you how you can niche your way or use this thing to your advantage. I call it the borrowed credibility. You see, if let's say I'm an ALX alumnus, right? I know how rigorous the program is, okay, and I know how difficult it is in trying to finish. And you submit your application. I'm the one evaluating, and I see ALX on it as well. That you've graduated from ALX program. I know that ALX is a good institution, and everything they do is rigorous. So I would trust you over somebody who is having a certification that I don't even know the institution that awarded the certificate. That is why people say that sometimes it's unfair, and people tend to be favor people within their circle and all of that. If I'm choosing somebody from that institution, it's because I know how rigorous the institution is. And if the person has been able to come out of that institution, I know the person is already refined Or if not, the person needs some a little touches to groom him or her that I want him to become. Okay, so how global evaluators detect this particular thing is that they scan for name recognitions. Employers, have you worked in any of these top companies? The company you worked at, are they people that I know them? Okay, okay, you work in UI, you work in this all these companies, and okay, good. It means that for somebody of sorts, of for an employer of sorts who have trusted you, it means that you are good, and I should be willing to bet my last penny on you. Okay, fellowships. Okay, you were part of EU fellowship. You were part of Millennium Fellowship. Okay, I know these people. Okay, and ALX. I mean, Aspire leadership. Okay, I know these people. So you being there or having their certification on your portfolio speaks volume, rather than somebody who have none of those things. So I'll be willing to trust you much more than your friend who just came to school and didn't do any of these things. Now, the thing is that do they recognize any institution in your biography, your portfolio? Do they recognize any of them? You know, the truth is that recognition triggers trust. If I'm hiring Faridat and I know Faridat has worked at this company and I'm familiar with that company, I'll be much more relaxed in reviewing her application than somebody that I know nothing about. Though I don't know her, but I know that she has been in an institution that I trust or an institution that I know of. So right when I recognize that, it will trigger a trust, a sort of trust. And if I'm unfamiliar with that, it will trigger scrutiny. So recognition triggers trust, unfamiliarity triggers scrutiny. That is why I pay attention to even words that she's using on her resume, columns, and all of those things. And the thing is that the art of applying for all these global opportunities, it is itself a layer three investment. Some of you, you will see the opportunity, but because you think you don't qualify, you won't even apply. No, don't do that. So later on in this presentation, I think I will leave my Substack account and Substack um, handle so that you can go there and read why. Because I don't want to take your time, go deep in over here. Why you should apply for global opportunities, even if you are even if you are not qualified. Okay, some of you will see the fellowship and oh no, where am I? Where I am right now, I'm not sure I can apply, and I will even get rejected. Why should I apply? No, you shouldn't say that. You should be willing to still apply regardless, because it teaches you. And for the first time, if any of you have really applied for any competitive program, you will know how it helps you to assess yourself. Okay, to trust me, if you've not done any of those things, I would want you to do, and it's a challenge I'm throwing to you. Even if you think you are not ready for the opportunity, try and apply. Go through the application process. Don't use ChatGPT. No, just you can use maybe fine tune your language and your English, but just try to sit down with yourself and try to answer all the questions they want from your perspective. It will help you to know the loopholes that you have within the profile you are building. And then you start to invest in all those cracks. I'm told my time is almost up. So I would quickly move on to the next one, which is and why where you are underinvesting in this particular layer. You see, you don't apply to all these globally eligible fellowship because you think you are underqualified, and most of you don't even have anything published. You don't even have LinkedIn posts that we can even go there to verify who you are. Okay, and you don't attend conferences, webinars like this. You see them. I'm not on because this is where you hear all these things. Okay, and still you'll still be saying that you are doing everything right. And because they fear that they will be rejected, they don't apply to all these globally recognized fellowship and all of that. Okay, and now I would to proceed. I've talked about this, which is the application paradox. Okay, what does this talk about? You see, most of you, as I said earlier, don't apply for this opportunity because you believe that you'll not be accepted. The application itself is a layer three investment. You have to apply anyway. Okay, is somebody here with me? Don't fear. Apply. Even if you get rejected, it's help you to really review the cracks you have in the profile you are building. And it'll tell you that you are not where you're supposed to be at the moment. Next slide, please. Good. Now, what we talk about is the global relevance. The global relevance in the layer four. So now we are on the fourth floor. Okay? Don't worry. Don't get tired. We'll be there soon, okay? Because we just have one staircase to climb. After that, we didn't use elevator this time. We are climbing with staircase, and I believe that you've been following the staircase as we go on. Don't don't get exhausted yet. There is more to come, right? Now, what is the global relevance talking about? Is the evidence that your work connects to problems and conversations that matter beyond your immediate geography. And that's where I introduced to you the two register principle. Somebody's type in the comment section the two register principle. And I want you to get, if you've not been recording anything at all, there is a session I want you to pick your book and your pen. What is the global relevance? It's it's the evidence that your work connect to real world problems beyond your school. Most of you, especially those who are done with school or those who are even doing research projects, you finish and the research project just sits in the shelf of the library or department library. It doesn't go anywhere beyond that. Meanwhile, it's something that is of value because if it wasn't of value, your supervisor wouldn't have agreed to supervise you. How do evaluators detect this? This talks about the topic you've worked on, the publication you cite, the problem that you position yourself to be solving. You see, your purpose or your special assignment is inherently problem solving. So, what problem are you right now solving? Because every company in this world is solving a problem. You think about any company, which company is not solving a problem? Even Snapchat, Facebook, they are all solving problems. TikTok is solving a problem. So, if you want to work over there, you should be asking yourself, are you doing what you are supposed to be doing in order to orient yourself to solve this particular problem that a company is solving? Is somebody here with me? It's so sad that I can't really get the feedback out because it's YouTube streaming. But anyway, let's just go on. Does the problem you are solving connect to a globally recognized conversation? You see, some of us are also solving problems that doesn't exist. Sadly, we are solving problems that don't exist, and or we are solving problems that are not relevant. I know this might sound thought provoking and I mean provocative, but it's the truth. The problem you are solving doesn't connect to any globally recognized conversation. Are you solving a problem that is intertwined with a company you want to work at or somebody that you want to get attention from? If not, then begin to assess yourself once more. Now let's zoom on into the two register principle. I'll give you an example. So let's say you worked on a project that helped with mobile money or mobile payment adoption in um, rural Ghana, right? That is the local framing. I call it the two register principle because everything in this world, any problem in this world, any communication in this world has a local framing and a global framing. Are you here with me? Two register principle, because any conversation, any kind of thing in this world have a local framing and a global framing. How you talk to me right now would it be how you would talk to somebody in an interview room? How you talk to your friend, or how you ask a request from your friend, would it be how you ask from somebody who is a recruiter or somebody who is superior? Now, the local framing is maybe you worked on a mobile payment adoption in Ghana. What is it? If you are to tell a recruiter from Silicon Valley or somebody outside your domain, what is mobile money, MTN, and all of that? If they are not really recognized, if they've not really recognized all those local problems, if you quote it in the local framing, they won't understand you. How do you then frame it in the global context? Financial inclusion architecture in emerging market. This is what people say is certain. It's not certain. Are you listening? There is no difference between the two. But for a global evaluator, they are prone to understand the second one because the global framing over the first one. Because that is for global evaluators and global people, and local evaluators, sorry. Say you went for a bit, okay? Ask you a bit cleanup initiative in Accra. You've told me nothing. What is the global framing? Community-led coastal conservation in rapidly urbanizing coastal cities. This is what somebody who is a global evaluator would recognize. Maybe the person has not even heard of Accra. So every application has its two ways of applying. Now, why are you under investing in this one? We frame African problems as exclusively African concerns. The problem we are solving, we're trying to limit it just to our geography, which is bad because your the person you are competing with is no more in that easy classroom. It's not in Ghana. It's not in Africa. They are also global competitive candidates. So for you to be at par with them or to be overhead them, to be ahead of them, you need to beat them in their own game. How do you do this? You can't do this by framing everything you are doing as something that's exclusive just to Ghana. No. We don't also translate our local work for global audience. Okay, so that is a two register principle that I want you to very much understand and also use in what you do. You see, every piece of work that you have has two framings I've talked to you about. Now, both are true. It's not like the local is not true. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the local is not true. Both of them are true, but only one is legible to a global evaluator. So you have to construct that framing in a global manner. Both of them are true because it's indeed true that you did a beach cleanup. But for a global evaluator, basically everybody else all can do a beach cleanup. What did you do during the beach cleanup? Is somebody here with me? Next slide, please. And now you can try to exhale. It's been a journey. We are on the final staircase. We are on the final floor. That is a narrative coherence. Now I want you to breathe because we are on the final one. Narrative coherence. What does this speak about? They speak about you piecing together all the layers from layer 1 through to layer 4 to tell a story you built tells a single legible story about who you are, what you are building, and why you are a sensible bet to the person. Remember, sensible bets. And this is where the 10 seconds test comes in. If I'm to open your LinkedIn profile right now, will I be able to tell where you are going, what you are building, and everything? If not, there's a work to be done. Now, the strong performance across layer 1 to 4 can be undone by a profile that fails to tell a coherent story. You can build layer one to layer four correctly, but if you're not able to tell your story in a legible format or manner, in a credible way, you can erase all the things you've built. So being able to tell your own story is very important. Okay? Being able to tell your own story is very, very important. And this is where most of you get it wrong. You have a good GPA, you've been spotted, you have a good resume, everything is right. Now you get to the interview room and you are not able to defend all that you built. Why is why is that so? So if you are not strong in the last layer, everything that you've been building can be erased totally. Because remember, you're not just getting the good academic class just because it's nice, because you want to be accepted into a role. And now you have the good tickets, you've accepted. But the final layer is for you to, okay, we know that your resume is saying that you are good enough. Now, we want a one on one with you. Tell us why you are good enough, and you are not able to do it. When the fragments contradict each other, the profile will read as noise. Is somebody here with me? Good. Faridat is really, really buzzing my line with timelines. Let me just finish up with everything I'm doing. Okay, so now, where are you in the under investing as a student? Oh my god, I need my glasses. Why are you under investing as a student? You present, interesting trajectory as lists of events rather than constructed arguments. Okay, things on your resume, things on your CV shouldn't just be read as lists. Need my glasses. Can you hear me? Moderator, please let me know if you can hear me because
Yes,
this
please, I can hear you.
good. All right, sure. I had to go get my glasses because good. All right. So we have what we call also reactive narrative. Somebody type reactive narrative. What is a reactive narrative? A reactive narrative is I did this, then I did that. You are being reactive in how you present what you're supposed to do. And your profile also read as unfocused, even when you sharply focus. You've done this. Next day you are here. One day you are an environmental advocate. Next time you are a mental health advocate. The next time you are a career advocate. No, where are you going to? Good. Next slide. I know my time is up. Now I have to answer all the questions that Farida sent me. Next slide, please. Okay, no. So let's do this self audit. I would want you to take a screenshot of this wherever you are, so that you can really, really audit yourself every time you are making an application or something. I promised myself I'll just do just 10 seconds, 30 minutes, but I don't know why. I got carried away. So the hard self audit. If a recruiter has a global firm, search your name right now. What will they find? What are they going to find? Think about this. If they have to search your name right now, Wendy Delman on WhatsApp, on Google, on LinkedIn, what are they going to find? Can you name five people in your target industry who could plausibly advocate for you? It's your strongest proof of confidence or competence, verifiable, to a stranger within 30 seconds. What do you think about it? That's what I'm going slow. When you describe your work to a non-African audience, it is globally significant to them. The problem you are solving, is it very significant to them? Something you should all be asking, event organizers and everybody else. If you replace your name with somebody from India or Brazil with identical credentials, would your competitiveness change? Next slide, please. And I want to just take, I won't take time here because I think I've done a lot with the layers, right? Next slide. Good. So that is next slide again. I know this is about framing it into action. So now Faria sent me some questions, and maybe I will just use some few um, minutes to answer them. Okay. Now you are saying that why effort alone isn't producing results, but I had to give you the context, which is the layers before you can understand everything I will respond to. Now, why your effort alone is not enough or isn't producing the results? You see, effort builds capacity. I've told you about what the capacity is, intelligence and all those stuff, right? Effort builds capacity, but results depend on visibility. Is somebody here with me? The effort that you are making that you think it should be enough is just building the capacity, and the capacity is the thing that is buried within the ocean, so nobody will see that effort. Is somebody here with me? Remember I told you about the ocean story, the raft with the glowing lights, the ball underneath. The effort you are building is what is within the ocean, so nobody, based on your efforts, nobody should be. Don't think nobody would give you any competitive because your effort is enough. That effort that you think you have is within the ocean. Nobody sees it. Only you. Are you here with me? But the result depends on that little glowing light that wraps on top of the ocean. That is visibility. And I told you, visibility is a construct. And these are two different things. The effort is just growing your capacity, not your constructs. So effort alone will never be enough. The fact that you've learned how to code doesn't mean that you should get a remote job. No. Are you here with me? The fact that you can, I mean, present, you have a good first class, anything doesn't mean that those all those things are feeding into the capacity. Don't get me wrong, the two are interlinked, but not automatic. They don't have a perfect correlation. The fact that you are putting the effort doesn't mean that you should just get the role you want. Are you with me? Now, most of the effort goes into layer ready for layer one. You have a good class already, but that's where you are still putting the effort, and you keep on hammering it, leaving all the other four layers. Effort alone won't be enough in this case. Remember, layer one alone is not enough. You get it? Now, the second one she asked me to explain is the gap between action and outcome. And this to me is very, very important. Very, very Moderator, can you confirm you can hear me? Because I think I dropped off.
Please, I can hear you now.
Good, good. Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
So I would quickly wrap up, and so that we can continue what we are doing. And I think I was talking about the second one. I was already done with the first. Okay, the gap between outcome or action and outcome. Remember earlier I told you about the two accounts that we have. Okay, we have two accounts, and those of you who have my contacts earlier today, you might have seen we have what we call action and outcome. Okay, they sit in two different accounts, and there's no automatic exchange rate between them. Action and outcome, they sit in two different accounts, and there's no automatic exchange rate between them. Every hour of work that you put into your capacity account, okay, you put into your capacity account, well, that is what you know, what you've built, what you are capable of. That account is real and it's yours. Nobody will take your intelligence away from you. But the outcomes, that is the offers, acceptance, callbacks, all the paid works, all the paid anything, right? They also sit in a completely different account. And that account is what we call the signal accounts. So the two accounts are the capacity account and the signal account. Everything that you are doing, all the efforts are going into the capacity account. But for you to really get the outcome, that is a job, that is a remote role, that is a fellowship, and all of those things, it comes from the signal account. And to really get your signal account full, you should be willing to walk the staircase that we just walked right now. Outcomes are paid from a different account. That's a signal account. And there is no automatic exchange rate between them. You should be willing to fetch from your capacity account into your outcome account. Next slide, please. And I think this will be my last slide. Farida, yes, I'm almost done. Just 2 minutes, I'll finish. So the hidden reason why progress feels inconsistent. You see, the 5 layers aren't weighted by the same evaluator or by every evaluator. There is an evaluator that would evaluate third layer over the second layer. There's somebody who won't care about your GPA. It exists. And there is somebody who won't care at all about the school you attended. There is somebody who also care about any online course you've done. There's somebody who will care about them. There's somebody who would be much more focused on your GPA than any internship you've done. So you don't want to leave anything to chances. So you will have the same profile but different layer on trial. Anytime you knock a different door, their rating systems is different. So you can be strong on layer 4 and still lose on layer 5. How do you then make sure that you don't fall a victim? By developing all the layers coherently. I told you that you can't pick and choose. They should be willing to develop all those layers. Now, the last one that I'll talk about then, I mean, we call it today is every right thing still feels like confusion. That is the question Farida wanted me to answer. Why every right thing still feels like a confusion? You see, every right thing for a student like you, a young professional, is that you are doing just one layer one or layer two right. I mean, they have the grade, they have the internship, they have a LinkedIn, so they think everything should be going on smoothly for them. Okay, and no rejection ever means names the layer you are missing. You see, when you apply, they won't tell you that okay, you were missing a layer 4, that's why we didn't pick you. So the confusion is in randomness, it's silence. I hope you get me. Okay, so now move on to the next slide, and I think we would bring it to a close. The issue is not is not capability, right? It's a signal architecture. You have to move from effort to structure and from talent to visibility system. So I think that's where I'll bring my presentation, and I hope you really learned a lot over the 1 hour that I've been speaking. Thank you so much for having me. Moderator, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholas. Thank you, Mr. Nicholas, for broadening our mental spectrum on today's topic. We really learned a lot and we appreciate you for that. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and also to comment on today's session. And also, do not forget to watch our previous sessions if you're a first timer and if you missed any. We promise to bring you more educative sessions as the days go by. See you same time next time. It's a bye.
Hello. If you have any question, you can leave it in the chat, in the comments, and we are going to attend to them in case your questions come in later after this live. So we can have your questions in the comment section. Please, when you watch it, make sure you leave your questions. I know you have a lot of questions because this particular session is meant for students, like seriously. And if you know someone that is supposed to be here and they missed it, then you have to send the link to their DM. Force them, hold them accountable to watch this session. And also, I would like to ask you all to appreciate our speaker in the comment section as you leave after the live has ended. Please don't forget to appreciate him and leave your insightful tips that you got from this session in the comment section, because we are supposed to encourage others to see the value in our videos. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm actually very curious to know who Del mean is. If you could type your full name in the comment section, I'll appreciate that. Yeah. Most engaged participant for tonight's session. Da Del mean. Who is that? Just type your full name in the comment section after the live has ended. Have ended. Okay. Yeah. So guys, it was really, really great having you here. And we are we are going to close for tonight. See you in our next session happening in 2 weeks' time. We are hoping that you come back and you've already applied most of these sessions here. Please, the reason why we hold these sessions, they are not meant to just inspire you, but they are meant to what? Challenge you to take action on your next step. Forget about what you are seeing in the next 5 years, what you are dreaming of in the next 10 years, what you are dreaming of in the next 20 years or in the next year. Think about what you want to do in the next 1 hour, in the next 2 days. Just don't look beyond 5 years or years. Just look at it. Tomorrow, what am I supposed to do? What is one thing I will do tomorrow that will draw me closer to the goal or the person I want to be? Exactly. Yeah. Bye.